Good morning. We are Thursday, the 31st of July. Hope it's been good to you. So, yesterday, as expected, the Fed did not make any rate decision. I don't know if any of you watched the conference call afterwards, but it always seems to follow a similar pattern. Several journalists try and pin the Fed chair down to exactly what he would have to see to cut rates, try and make arguments considering one point instead of the whole as to why it should be done now. He always brings it back to looking at the full spectrum and refuses to be pinned down. There's usually at least one question asking if he cares about the plight of the American people. He always circles back to, this is my mandate, this is how I care, this is how I help. So, to me, it's interesting, even though it follows the same pattern every time. Most of the new information that we have out this morning, we had a lot come out early today before market open. Initial jobless came slightly better. Employment index as expected. Personal income a little better. Personal spending a little worse, but some of these numbers are inconsistent. Personal consumption as expected, but year over year was slightly better. I don't see how this number could be better than expected, and yet what they were forecasting for the year turned out to be a little bit better. It would seem to me to be that those two would need to be consistent, but I never worry too much about stuff like that. I just try and absorb and let it influence me as it does. Don't have this number yet. These are just more variations of this, just core spending. Overall, there's nothing here that's really scary, but there's also nothing that would really say, my goodness, we need to cut rates. So we'll see how all that plays out. So how did the markets react? Well, here's the future on the S&P 500, and you can see that we were down. We shook it off even yesterday, quite a bit down. We'll take a closer look at that in just a minute. And today we are back to new all-time highs. Let's go to a 5-day chart because I want to see. One day might show it. We'll go 5 days if we need to. So we were chugging along just fine yesterday. The Fed did exactly what everybody expected them to do. We sold off, we flirted, we came back up and actually ended the day higher, and we're seeing more of a follow through here. I just don't see it. I don't see why we would have a rate cut just because we can. I don't think is a good enough reason. I think we want to keep those tools in the arsenal for when they are really needed, and as of right now, there's no indication that we need to stimulate the economy. There is still more fear of inflation, at least I think from how the Fed sees things. There's still more fear of inflation than there is of a market slowdown. So we'll check it again in about 6 weeks and see if they've seen enough to give a rate cut. As of right now, I don't see it happening. But like the Fed chair says, we have to look at the data as it comes in.